Welcome to my Did You Know channel. I am Madorable and today we will be talking about the travels of our national hero, Dr. Jose Rizal. Jose Rizal is one of the most revered figures in Philippine history. He was a multifaceted intellectual and a political activist, best known for his political writings that inspired the Philippine Revolution and ultimately led to his execution by the Spanish colonizers. But before that incident, Rizal had traveled to 13 countries and achieved his primary reason going abroad, to gain further knowledge of ophthalmology. Now let's begin. Disillusioned with how Filipinos in the Philippines were regarded as second-class citizens in institutions of learning and elsewhere, the national hero Jose Rizal left the country in May 1882 to pursue further studies abroad. El Amor Patrio, Love of Country, was penned in the first months he was overseas in 1882. In Spain he enrolled at the Universidad Central de Madrid, where he became leader of a small community of Filipino students and committed himself to reforming the Spanish rule in his home country. Me Piden Versos, They Ask Me for Verses reflects Dr. Jose Rizal's longing for his native land, the Philippines. This poem was read in Circulo Hispano-Filipino on New Year's Eve in Madrid. Rizal visited the Lariboisier Hospital where Felix Pardo de Tavera was an extra. Here he observed the examination of the different diseases of women. After his 3-month sojourn in France, Rizal returned to Madrid and thought about publishing a book that exposed the colonial relationship of Spain and the Philippines. In 1887, the first edition of Noli was published in Berlin, Germany. To express his gratitude, he gave the original manuscript plus the plume he used to Viola. Rizal also signed the first print and gave it to Viola with dedication. Rizal returned to Manila in August 1887, after 5 years in Europe. However, his homecoming was met by the friars' furor over Noli Me Tangere. The Archbishop of Manila issued an order banning the possession and reading of the novel, an order that was later reinforced by the Governor-General. 6 months later, pressured by the Spanish authorities as well as by his family and friends to leave the country and avoid further persecution, Rizal left Manila for Hong Kong. From Hong Kong, Rizal traveled to Macau and Japan before going to America. Entering San Francisco, California, in April 1888, he visited the states of Nevada, Utah, Colorado, Nebraska, Illinois, and New York. He jotted down his observations of the landscape in his diary. Rizal, after days of travel, arrived at Yokohama. He registered at the Grand Hotel. He was offered at once the Spanish legation for his home. In Japan, Rizal studied the habits and customs of the Japanese people, their language, theaters and commerce. March 29, 1891, Jose Rizal finished the El Filibusterismo manuscript in Biarritz, France, after toiling on it for 3 years. He had begun writing it in October 1887, in Calamba. In London, he made changes in the plot and revised the chapter already written. It was November 20, 1891 when Rizal arrived in Hong Kong from Europe with 600 copies of El Filibusterismo, the sequel to his Noli Me Tangere. Rizal returned to the Philippines in 1892. He founded a nonviolent reform society, the Liga Filipina, in Manila, and was deported to Dapitan in northwest Mindanao. He remained in exile for the next 4 years. In 1896 the Katipunan, a Filipino nationalist secret society, revolted against Spain. After Andres Bonifacio issued the Grito de Balintawak in 1896, Rizal was arrested, convicted of sedition, and executed by firing squad on December 30, 1896.
Ipanumpa kong ditikabian ug pagahuktan ko ang tanan. Ipanumpa